but it is overlooked just because Scrumptious is the new queen on the scene, and also there's a zombie apocalypse happening, so no one really cares. But I do think that it makes sense for Scrumptious to be the sort of problem solver, whether it's, trying to get one of the zombies in a cage using drugs or getting a pride float for everyone to leave.
It's both. It's always both.
I know, such injustice, right?
Survive, survive.
Hey guys, Vanessa with Big
Hi.
Bell Media. How are you guys doing?
So good,
So much
Vanessa.
better now that I see your beautiful face, and these
I was
curls are
gonna say
fitting.
twins. Hello.
Right.
I'm so happy to talk to you guys. Love both of y'all's dynamic in the movie. Especially because just the way the dynamic was set up, the millennial versus Gen Z coded established performer versus the young ingenue versus a little bit of auntie nibbling. Like, how did you guys play in that dynamic? Was it natural for you guys, or was it like something you made up for the movie?
Well, I'm going to let you know, Vanessa, we have done a couple of interviews prior to this, and I've already been called old, and
No, she hasn't. She's lying. I did not say she was old. I said she was older.
okay, well, I would say, first of all, it goes without saying, I'm a giant fan of Tomas, and I think we had a natural connection on screen and off because we were so willing to just be playful with one another and know that it's all in our dynamic and trying to figure it out and have fun with one another, and it was really, really natural.
Yeah, I would agree. I think like the idea of intergenerational relationships within the queer community is very important, and it's also a story that I think should be told, especially within the world of a zombie movie, particularly one that has to portray a queer community, because it is an issue, I think, with the relationships that older and younger people within the community face, because I think like there's so much for young people to learn from the older generation and vice versa. But I think sometimes it's hard for them to come together. And sometimes it does take a zombie apocalypse for it to happen, like in this film. But yeah, I think Nina and I definitely we are from two generations. However, we do know how to come together in any sense of the word, in real life and also in this movie.
So that's a good point that you made, Tomas, about the generational like differences, because I feel like some older queens, or not older, millennial queens, have a little bit more patience with like casual homophobia, more willing to like be a little bit more lenient. Nico's character, no, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. And I feel like at heart, Nico is very much or Scrumptious is a problem solver. It's kind of our superpower. So how do you kind of like play in that role, like and pull that out? You know what I mean? Like just be that person in a zombie apocalypse to just solve problems, show up to save the day and do whatever. Like that feels like a good role for you to have.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, because that was one of the things in my script that I wanted to pinpoint, were all of the moments in which Scrumptious actually does come up with a plan, because it happens quite often, but it is overlooked just because Scrumptious is the new queen on the scene, and also there's a zombie apocalypse happening, so no one really cares. But I do think that it makes sense for Scrumptious to be the sort of problem solver, whether it's, trying to get one of the zombies in a cage using drugs or getting a pride float for everyone to leave. I think it makes sense because they are such a fighter. And I do think it is probably something that the younger generation, like Scrumptious, brings to the table in intergenerational relationships. The fact that they are quick on their feet, and they are a no bullshit type of person. But I do think it's worth mentioning that Scrumptious probably gets that from seeing, and also the world that has been created from the the generations that come before them the world that they created, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. And I want to ask Mina a question about that actually. Like I'm a Columbus girly, so I know of your drag family and how much you have helped, your family's helped so many people in Columbus. And you, of course, are being casted as this like like drag mother. How much of your own experience did you bring to this role?
Oh my gosh, like a lot. I mean, like that was it. When I was reading the script, Jinsey felt really familiar to me. There are some things that were not familiar to me, right? Like she's a big fraidy cat, you know, she's really scared and she's really leaning on others, you know, to help guide her. Where that's very different for me. But that was something I found on the page about the character. But I really relied on my own experience. I've done drag for 25 years. You know, Virginia West, who I think you probably know, is my drag mother. You know, we built the scene in Columbus and have this massive drag family, and that is like all over the country now, right? And it's all of that felt familiar, right? This kind of this house mother in this bar leading, you know, kind of leading the show, not necessarily leading the charge, but thinking that she is in control. Like that all feels like I could pull out all of those things and also understand like, oh my gosh, Andrew, take a step back. This is not autobiographical. Like, you know, it's like find like use it to inspire. And that's what the joy that I found in this character um was for me. It was really awesome. And again, and I had, you know, speaking to what Tomas is talking about, these intergenerational relationships, I think that's very common in drag families and in, you know, LGBTQ chosen families. I mean, we are, at least in nightlife, I've had those experiences where, you know, not only as mentor, but have been, you know, someone who's been raised by people who were far older than me, who had much more experience, you know, so like to have, it is cross generational. And I think that's something that we pass down as queer people, especially in a nightlife scene in a nightclub. Um, I think that's very real.
I'm gonna ask you a really quick, easy question before because we only have a couple minutes. What was your guys' both one of you guys like favorite thing to film? Like it's a zombie apocalypse movie, and it's like one of the gayest movies I've ever seen. I loved all the references, the bloody lace on the like. There's so much let's have a Kiki play. Like, what was your favorite moment about the film that you guys did one specifically, Tomas?
Oh my god, there's so many. I think the drag transformation that happens with one of the characters, who will not be named to save the sake of spoilers. I think it is so beautiful just to watch. And also like the fact that like they were able to reclaim their power even during the zombie apocalypse was really beautiful to watch in person and also on the screen. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah, I piggyback off of that. I agree with that. And there's also that moment where Katie says we're gonna do what we always know how to do, and she turns on the music and they dance, which ultimately that also happens. And there's another pivotal moment because of that choice, some other things happen. But that is I love that moment because it's a reminder, I think, in these difficult times for people, especially queer people, to not stop dancing, to not lose their joy, to not lose this idea of what family can mean and what it should mean and how we can still be better together and continue to dance. I think that that's really, really vital.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time.
Oh my
Appreciate
god,
it.
Thank you, Martha. Thanks, go. Hey, look, OH. I had no idea.
I know. I'm an alumna, you know.
Right. Are you in Columbus now?
No, I'm in Vegas. I moved here in 2018. Actually, was just in Columbus earlier this year.
Oh, good. Well, it's nice to meet you.
To meet you. It's good to
nice
meet
to
you.
meet you, Vanessa.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.